Hello, I'm Dr. Bill Bergman. I'm a physician consultant with St. Matthew's House, and I'm very grateful to be able to share this teaching session with you on relieving stress. I'm going to share with you two different approaches. One that you use for just the kind of immediate benefit to relieve stress in kind of a situation where you might feel even somewhat panicky, sort of the immediate results. And the second will deal with a practice that you can do every day that builds up benefit to you over time, so that you really are getting all the benefits of the relief of stress. It means benefits to your well-being, but also to your health, and specifically to your immune system. So I hope this teaching will be of great help to you now and in the future, and please feel free to share it with your friends and family. Thank you. I'm Dr. Bill Bergman, a physician consultant for St. Matthew's House, and I'm so grateful to be able to be a part of this wonderful organization and what it's doing to really help people. And as Van Ellison said in his video message recently, St. Matthew's House has certainly been at the front line of dealing with epidemics of drug and alcohol addiction. And now we're facing this pandemic of the coronavirus. And obviously it's creating a lot of stress for many people. Stress around the issues of our health, the virus itself, and also issues of the economic situation and the impact on people's work. And all of these things are really creating a lot of anxiety, you know, in the world and in our community. Now, a lot of good things are happening. People are coming together. People are working together. It's bringing out the very best in people. And yet at the same time, we know that the impact on us individually and as a community can be, you know, very severe. So I would like to share with you today several approaches for dealing with stress. And hopefully they will be of value to you, not only in this immediate situation that we're facing, but also even long after the virus is passed, just in terms of being able to really live our lives without as much worry and anxiety and stress. This is my hope for sharing with you these two approaches. So I'll show a few slides just to help to be able to kind of clarify the ideas. And first of all, we know that there is a tremendous amount of research now on the impact of stress on our health. And one of the most important things that we're learning is that if we're able to relieve stress, rather than feel that we're in a kind of anxious and tense and stressful situation, that this is a powerful medicine for our immune system. This is Dr. Herbert Benson, the founder of the Harvard Medical School's Mind-Body Medical Institute. And he's pointing out that a very high percentage of the health issues are stress-related. So certainly stress has an impact on our health. And as we effectively learn how to relieve stress, this is a very, very powerful influence in a positive way on our immune system. So everything else that we're doing, following the guidelines of the CDC and the governor and here in Collier County, everything that we're doing can be complemented by really being able to effectively deal with stress as a way of enhancing our immune system and the effectiveness and the health of our immune system as we're dealing with this virus. Now, a key principle of effective stress relief is that we have both the circumstances of our life and our experience of those circumstances. So while we have limited control of what's happening to us, I think we can see that in the current situation, certainly we have limited control of what's happening we have a lot of control over our experience of these circumstances. And that's the key principle that underlies these various approaches. And one of the most important and I think well-researched, and certainly it goes back to our biblical faith, the principles by which we're living, we can see that meditation provides a very, very significant benefit in terms of stress relief. Now, we may know of meditation, but we may not necessarily be doing it. We may be praying, of course, going to church, participating in our faith community, but many of us, we hear about meditation, but we don't necessarily practice it. And here from Rick Warren, The Purpose-Driven Life, he's saying that meditation is focused thinking. It takes serious effort. You select a verse and reflect on it over and over in your mind. He goes on to say, if you know how to worry, you already know how to meditate. It's a matter of kind of what we can say a kind of rumination over Scripture. And he says there no other habit can do more to transform your life and make you more like Jesus than daily reflection on Scripture. And if you look up all the times God speaks about meditation in the Bible, you'll be amazed at the benefits He has promised to those who take the time to reflect on His Word throughout the day. So here there's a very strong advocacy for doing a daily meditative practice. And here we can see the Bible's mentioning meditate or meditation 23 times. Here's just a few of the examples of this. But his delight in the law of the Lord, and on His law he meditates day and night, from Psalms, and others as well. And there's another additional 21 scriptural passages talking about the power of meditation. Now we can see that meditation, while it's been with us for thousands of years, the latest science, and particularly brain science, is clarifying that actually it's reinforcing God-centered neuropathways in our brain. That as we do a meditative practice, it actually becomes a part of our brain anatomy, the neural connections, the brain cells. All of these are activated in a very positive way. And it requires the engagement of both the right and the left sides of the brain. It results in greater health and peace, but also growth in Christlikeness. This is from Timothy Jennings, a Christian psychiatrist, who in the God-Shaped Brain, his book, How Changing Your View of God Changes Your Life, he says that in order to experience the fullness of both truth and love, we must have activity balanced on both hemispheres of our brain, the balancing through a meditative practice. And from brain scanning, which is kind of the leading edge of how we are beginning to really understand how these stress-relieving practices and meditation, how they actually are changing in a very positive way our brain, the biochemistry, the immune system. We can say that the brain scans here in Dr. Andrew Newberg, How God Changes Your Brain, he wrote that in 2009. Brain scans demonstrate that meditation strengthens a specific circuit that governs a wide variety of processes involved with mental clarity, empathy, compassion, emotional balance, and the suppression of anger and fear. So once again, we can see that the latest brain science is affirming what we know from our faith and from our reading of the Bible. So let's talk about several practical approaches that hopefully will be of great benefit to you. Now, the first is actually to give a person kind of immediate relief. One situation, for example, my brother-in-law a few weeks ago suffered a severe heart attack. And thank God he's home with my sister and he's recovering and he's doing quite well. But there have been several instances when my sister and he were on the phone with me and he was explaining, my brother-in-law was explaining that he's kind of feeling, all of a sudden, a kind of panic feeling. You know, just all of a sudden, without there being necessarily a reason, he feels like sort of he's like in a storm, a kind of, you know, emotional storm, a kind of panic mode. And so I guided him through exactly this process, which is for, like in that situation, for immediate relief. And the important thing to understand in this approach is that anxiety, stress, tension, these are all feelings. These are feelings that we have. Your mind actually cannot experience two different feelings at the same time. So what I guided my brother-in-law to do is to, first of all, place your attention on your breath, on your breathing. The feeling of the breath going in and out. You don't necessarily have to try to breathe slower or faster, but just watch, and the key is to feel the breath going in and out. And then as your mind wanders back into that kind of state, whatever it is, but away from the feeling of your breath, you gently bring your attention back to your breath and how it feels. The feeling of the breath going in and out. If any thoughts in step 3, if any thoughts come in like this isn't working, or I wonder if I'm not doing this right, just simply return to the return your attention to the feeling of your breath going in and out. Now, with practice, this will get easier. The more we do it, the more actually it becomes easier. But this is for the kind of immediate situation, for immediate results, like we might feel just kind of like a panic attack. But we don't want that to happen, of course. And therefore, in the second approach, which is a meditative practice that we would do when we're not feeling particularly anxious, when we're not in need of an immediate relief, kind of in the beginning of the day, or the end of the day, or even ideally both times of day. Here's a Christ-centered meditative practice that we could begin with just even 5 minutes. You know, it's like I say that by doing these things, with practice, they become easier. They become, particularly that the brain circuitry begins to be in harmony with this practice in a very good and very positive way. You can begin with even just 5-10 minutes. You could gradually increase it up to, let's say, 20 minutes. You can do it just once a day. I think ideally you would want to do it twice a day. And what you do here is you're kind of finding a comfortable place where you won't be interrupted. And in step 1, now this is like the beginning of the day. You find a quiet place. You're not going to be interrupted. And then you bring your attention to the area of your heart. You bring your focus of your attention to the area of your heart. And you think of your breath and you feel your breath flowing in and out as if it's flowing in and out from your heart. As if the breath is coming in and out through your heart. You're feeling it coming in and out through your heart. And from that place, you generate a feeling of gratitude and appreciation. It could be for God, for Jesus. It could be for a portion of Scripture, Thy kingdom come. You feel the Lord is my shepherd. But it's the feeling, the gratitude, the appreciation for God, for that Scripture, for Jesus, or someone or something in your life that you feel grateful for, that you can appreciate. And you, as you're breathing in and out, imagining it coming from the heart, you access and you generate the feeling of gratitude. The feeling is the key, the feeling of gratitude, the feeling of appreciation. And as your mind wanders, and it will, the mind just naturally kind of gets off, and then you have to kind of gently bring it back to your breathing from the heart, feeling the appreciation and gratitude. And you do this as a daily practice. Maybe once a day, twice a day, 5, 10, 15, can be 20 minutes twice a day. And the thing is, by doing it, we actually get benefit. We get the benefit in terms of the relief of stress. we're building up kind of stress-busting muscles, we can kind of call it. You know, we're exercising our stress relief muscles in the morning, in the evening, as the days and weeks go by, so that if we are confronted with a particularly difficult situation, we have that much more that we can bring to it, because we have created these neural pathways in the brain. We are reinforcing them. We are strengthening the immune system as a consequence of relieving stress. All of this benefit is available to us with just a daily practice of maybe just a few minutes, once or twice a day. So these are two approaches, one for the immediate situation, for the immediate relief, the other as a daily practice. And as a consequence of this, I hope that you will really be able to see, even the science is saying that it improves immune system function. As you do these things over time, I hope it will be of great help to you at this time and even after we deal with this current challenge, that this could be a kind of part of your lifestyle, to incorporate this kind of daily practice. It could be of such help to you now and in the future. And I'd like to end just with 2 Corinthians 1:4, the God of all comfort, who comforts us all in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves have received from God. What a wonderful expression of how we can be comforted and then comfort others. The very mission of what we are doing here at St. Matthew's House. So again, I look forward to being with you as the days and weeks and months move forward, to being of help, and I wish you the very best, you and your family, the very best of good health and well-being. God bless you.